Go ahead.
Guys, we're back at the Whiskey Blendery. It's Whiskey TV. Some people say co-star, because that is the star. Now, the barrel house is getting a remodeling, and that's because there are how many more barrels coming in?
60.
60 new barrels.
If they all arrive alive, odds are, I'll say two's the over/under.
So you lose one or two on the journey.
I think they'll load up two that are empty. It's
part of
happened.
the business.
It's unfortunately, yeah.
How does that make you feel? I'm gonna say a business owner. Like, how does that make you feel with two barrels?
It's just a lot. It's just more work. You got to document it, and then you got to find the resolution, and then you wanted those barrels that you had, but then you can't replace them, and so it is what it is.
And Tim makes very good choices when it comes to whiskey. So we know if he chose the barrels, the goal is clearly to show up with.
This truck should be spectacular. So I would like every barrel on that truck to show up.
Now go ahead and walk me through the fire sale, because common question to ask is, what do you do when the barrels are done, finished?
Yeah, a lot of times we'll sell them to a broker, who then sends them overseas to make scotch, or sometimes they go to Mexico to make a good añejo or something. But a lot of times we get people coming in and they want to make a coffee table. They want to do, their own barrel finishing project in their garage or whatever, which takes a fresh barrel, like a fresh dump barrel, meaning that it's still wet on the inside. And we have some wet barrels that were just dumped. So normally we sell those for $125, but we're trying to blow these out because we have some coming in. So really, before Tuesday of next week, so $75 a barrel, and a lot of them are good, like 8, 9, 10-year bourbons and ryes and exceptional stuff that you've probably bought the bottle here, and now you can have that barrel. So they're cool barrels. They have a lot of character, but we just got to make space for more. If I had more room, I'd keep them, but I don't. So,
well, guys, and if you have any barrel photos that you've gotten from the Blendery and that you use, Jimmy's is good. I'm gonna take a picture of when I go over his house, because he took that barrel and he's got his whole little cigar thing in the middle. He's got the whiskey Blendery bottles. That thing is clean, man.
Yeah.
I said, who knew that thing could work so well as a piece of furniture?
Yep.
Now, it was back here that I found the candy corn back in the day. And candy corn's gone. What did you find in basically removing all these barrels?
Yeah, well, Richard reopened this one, and this one was, I remember this one specifically because it's got such a warped bottom that it's like, I thought it was almost empty because it's, easy to move around, but it's got like 40% in it. So the bottom's cupped so bad.
Richard, you work here, man. It's okay. You can be in the videos. This got whiskey in it.
Oh yeah, that's good whiskey too. That's good whiskey.
I don't know what that. I can't remember what's in there, but I'm like
a lot of good whiskey. Let's put that back in its home real quick.
Oh, there you go. Look, he's like, hey, we not wasting no whiskey now.
That's a good one. Let's see. So Richard said this is good. He put a little star on it. Whenever there's a star on it.
A star is born?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where a star is found.
Now, what makes this special, Richard?
It's just it's a great standout of that mash bill.
And it's a 99 corn bourbon.
It's
Which
just
you
rich.
like? You like this mash bill?
Oh yeah, that's your candy corn. Yeah.
Candy corn. Listen, people.
I think this one's a little richer than just a candy corn.
Yeah. So
It's either 7 or 8.
walking through your notes there, Richard, because Richard can give you cracked plastic as a note. You're like, what?
It's over 120 proof.
It's 18A. So it's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 7 year.
7 years.
Sometimes age is just a number. For real though.
Depends on where you're at in life.
It does have that like Richness. Oh, wow.
It almost has the vanilla note you get in like a light whiskey. That's starting to get good. You know what I mean? Like that kind of.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's like a almost like a caramel cheesecake. What are you doing?
I'm just testing a theory.
You're just trying that might help it. Don't overdo it.
I'm not. He's counting.
You can't reverse it.
You can't.
All right, cut it off. You can always do more.
That part. Oh, there we go. Wait, want some more, man? Okay, let's see what you think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that made a big difference. Really softened and sweetened the nose, which we're finding that's kind of the norm. Softer and sweeter.
And as long as it doesn't get sharp on the back end, I think it worked. Kind of, sometimes it thins out on the back side. Brings out the ABV on the end. No?
Not yet. Yeah. Yeah, it brought
It's very sweet.
brought a little sharpness that one didn't have. It's better on the nose and palate, but on the finish it got a little sharp.
It's a lot of sweetness.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like it. You put too much frothing on it.
I went 1 second over.
Yeah, that's a good barrel.
Yeah.
That's a real good barrel. That'll blend well too.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. What else have you discovered when breaking down? I mean, because this was a huge mountain, man.
It was a mountain.
It was literally a mountain.
Yeah, we had some empties in there, but yeah. So like, we did a test this morning with a high corn bourbon and a 95% wheat whiskey, and they paired really well. And so we dumped them both in here. So now we'll cycle it and then throw it in a 16-year turkey barrel. So, and those are ones that we're going to forget about some of these intentionally. And then when we find them again, they're going to be magical. I already know. So we're trying to load up as many as we can. And then that'll help us consolidate. So Richard's working overtime trying to blend exceptional blends and also clearing out 10% of this barrel, 20% of that barrel. And then we're consolidating them in those 15, 16-year-old barrels and then just letting them ride. We haven't found one that got worse. As long as you find the complementary like flavor profiles,
Yeah.
we haven't found one that's gotten any worse. Like usually within a day, they're considerably better. So there's going to be some epic whiskey coming out of those. So I'm excited about that.
Well, you might not have gotten a chance then to get those 15 or 16-year-olds because they came and they went. They're gone.
Faster than expected.
Look, that's good for business though, man.
It was good for
You
business.
killed it. And shout out to everybody who's been in support of the Blendery because you guys help and keep killing it. And that was exciting. How many of these things only have like 10% yield in them?
We've been working through them, so I would say 20 to 30% is more common.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully the ones coming in are 60 to 80% yield. That might be wishful thinking.
Now, what's been your favorite flavor that you've produced out of the Blendery? And I'm saying that because he's talking about putting two things together, letting them sit in the barrel creating more magic, and there's already so much magic that comes out of these barrels. I found candy corn, I found orange juice, graham cracker. I found some amazing stuff here with no additives. We're talking blends and barrels.
The bright fruit or the dark fruit unique notes. So like the strawberries, the plums, the black cherries, like those kind of things. If we can find those and make them drink well under their proof just by the blending process, I think those are always a home run, just because they're hard. They're hard to do. There's a reason why you don't see a lot of them. Like we've been working on this like a peach rye. So like the orange juice was like an orange rye. It had orange zest. We've got one that has this like peach, and if you find it on the right day, it's more like a peach cobbler with a pie crust, but it's a rye. And I was hoping to potentially bottle it today. Richard tried it, and it's not a good day to bottle it. So. Might have to wait another week because the temperatures are getting cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I can capture that peach in a bottle just from the single barrel. So just like our first single barrel was called Killer Bee, and it had like these honey notes, and you'd swear it was finished in a honey barrel, and it's not. It's just the sweetness tastes like honey, and then the orange, like there's nothing about it except for the wood is special on the barrel, and it tastes like orange just from the barrel. And so if we can recreate things that are, you know, black cherry and plum and like these desirable bright fruit or dark fruits that the average person can find. You don't have to have Richard's nose to find these things. If we can make them readily accessible and then name it in a way that it's memorable, and then people can get a bottle that has those like very unique fruit notes paired with a very nice aged whiskey.
Yeah.
Like those are kind of what we're known for and what we're trying to continue to put out. But it's not like, I mean, we have like 3 bottles to sell over there right now. So I would love to just bottle, have a ton of stuff to sell, but that's not really what we're doing. So we gotta keep going and keep finding the right ratios and blends and everything to create something exceptional, something unique that we then bottle. And then they have been selling out fast. We still have a couple things available, but we're just going at the same speed because we want to bottle the best that we can bottle, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And by the time it gets bottled, most of you great Patreons go ahead and cover the rest of the.
So with the new website, we've got a submission form for waitlist now. You get to pick which waitlist you want to join. So we've had an influx of stuff coming. So we need to talk about that Patreon thing, because
this is the 15th time you've seen it on video, people. I told him this, didn't I tell you?
Maybe next week we can finalize the
And
details.
still,
Well, I got to make room for these barrels first.
yeah,
this week.
it's a lot to take in, and patrons are
logistically-
beasts. But at the same time, there are people who you might. I mean, we're limited here in terms of like a Saturday with 150 people.
Oh,
in there.
Saturday, yeah, Saturdays are
You
are
couldn't
crazy.
you couldn't get in here, so
Yep.
you got to adhere to some of those codes for safety purposes. But even more importantly, it's good to be able to provide exclusivity to the people who are.
Yeah, we want to be able to offer another something that's exclusive, that has the same quality of stuff that people are used to, because there's so many people that are kicking themselves that had an opportunity to join Bottle of the Month or join the membership, but now they can't because we're full up for the rest of the year. But they still want our whiskey, so we're doing our best to get it going as fast as we can and get good whiskey, but. Once we get this organized and the new barrels in, I think we'll be able to. We're gonna find so many gems that it's exciting. That I want to pace myself, because it's like, okay, you get 60 new barrels in, you want to open them all up like
It's like
day
Christmas,
one.
man. It's like
Yeah, kind
Christmas.
of. Especially if you get on a roll and you start like open. Oh man, that thing's amazing. And,
But mind you, I was with him when he opened 40 barrels in 2 hours,
yeah, and that was fun.
so he could
So-
do 60.
I don't need to, because
Yes, yeah.
these have already been purchased. Those were looking to be purchased, so it's go.
You got to go fast.
But these I already have,
Yeah.
and I know there's some awesome ones on there. So we'll just take it slow. We'll mark the ones that are ready to be bottled, and then those are the ones we'll focus on. And I want to keep some of them to where they're unopened, for a few months.
Yeah.
Because after we find the ones that we need to focus on, then people are waiting for those. So there's no sense in just opening them all up, and then it gets kind of confusing. And so we'll take the stats on them like we normally do. We'll take them off. We'll weigh them, put the notes on them, and then line them up in here, and we'll just work through them over the next few months, and then we'll be on the hunt for the next round. So that'll
First
be fun
come,
too.
first serve, man. First come, first serve. Well, people get ready, because there's more whiskey
Yeah.
coming to the Whiskey Blendery, which means we get to go and investigate all the new things for both the business and you guys. And Richard and Tim, they're going to find some amazing stuff to blend. I can't wait to find me another candy barrel. I'm going to start calling them candy barrels, man.
We will have some candy barrels. I promise you that. Yep.
Guys, keep it whiskey, man.